Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the MA English Cafe. I'm Ben, here with my co-host, Jenny. Today, we're doing something a little different and super exciting. We're going to dive into the dynamic world of business startups and entrepreneurship. Whether you're dreaming of starting your own company or just want to understand the language of the business world, this episode is a one-shot crash course just for you. We'll break down key terminology, share stories, and give you the confidence to talk about business in English.
That's right, Ben. The language of startups can feel a bit like its own separate dialect, full of terms you don't hear every day. But once you get the hang of it, it's incredibly powerful. So let's start at the very beginning. The main person we're talking about is an entrepreneur. This is a person who starts and runs a new business, taking on all the risks in the hope of making a profit. And the company they start is called a startup.
Exactly. An entrepreneur has an idea, and they create a startup to bring that idea to life. But before they can even do that, they need to create a business plan. This is a formal document that describes the company's goals, how it plans to achieve them, and the timeline for that success. It's basically a roadmap for the business.
It's so important. A good business plan helps you define your target audience. This is the specific group of people you're trying to sell your product or service to. For example, if you're creating an app for students, your target audience would be college or high school students. You need to know exactly who you're talking to.
And how do you figure that out? You do market research. This is the process of gathering and analyzing information about your customers, competitors, and the overall market. It's how you know if your idea will actually be successful.
I have a story that perfectly illustrates this. I once had a friend who wanted to start a company selling high-end umbrellas. He thought everyone would buy them. But he didn't do any market research. He didn't realize that in our city, people prefer to buy cheap umbrellas from the street because they lose them all the time. He had a great product, but he failed to identify his true target audience. His business quickly went under.
That's a classic example of why a business plan and market research are so crucial. They are the foundation of any successful startup. They help you put your plan into action and avoid common mistakes. This is the kind of practical English vocabulary that you'll hear in any business meeting or conversation. We hope you're finding this helpful so far.
And if you are, we have a quick favor to ask. Please take a moment to hit that like button right now. Your support really helps us keep going and create more great content to help you improve your English. It also helps more people like you find our podcast.
And don't forget to subscribe to the MA English channel. Join our growing community of English learners and boost your fluency with new episodes every week. We're committed to helping you master English for all areas of your life, including business.
Now that you have your great idea and a solid business plan, you need money. You can't build a business on dreams alone. This is where we get into the world of funding. The first money a startup gets is often called seed funding. Think of it as planting a seed. It's the initial investment used to get the company off the ground.
Exactly. And if the business starts to grow, it might need more money. That's when it goes through a funding round. You might hear terms like Series A, Series B, and so on. This is where the company gets more significant amounts of money from professional investors. These investors often come from venture capital firms. A venture capitalist, or a VC, is an investor who provides capital to startups that have long-term growth potential. They're basically the people who bet on your idea and give you the money to make it a reality.
To get that money, you have to create a pitch deck. This is a short visual presentation, usually a PowerPoint or Google Slides, that a startup uses to pitch its business idea to potential investors. You need to sell your vision and show why your company will be successful.
I have a great story about a pitch deck. A friend of mine had a brilliant app idea, but his pitch deck was terrible. It was too long, had too much text, and no one understood what he was trying to do. He went into the meeting and the investors walked out after 5 minutes. It was a tough lesson. He learned that you have to be able to put your idea across simply and quickly.
Ooh, that's rough. You have to be able to sell yourself and your idea in just a few minutes. And once you get that money, you need to be smart about how you use it. The goal is to scale your business. This means to grow your company in a way that its revenue increases faster than its costs. You want to get bigger, but you need to be smart about it.
So, to quickly review some of our terms so far, we have the entrepreneur with an idea for a startup who creates a business plan and does market research to find their target audience. Then they seek seed funding and go through funding rounds to get money from investors who are often venture capitalists, presenting their ideas in a pitch deck so they can scale their business. That's a lot of important business English.
It truly is. We hope you're feeling more confident about these terms. We have another question for you. What kind of startup would you like to create if you had unlimited funding? Share your ideas in the comments below. We'd love to read your amazing creative thoughts.
And while you're at it, if you're enjoying this discussion and finding it helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the MA English channel. Your support is our biggest motivation to keep making these valuable English lessons for you. So, we've talked about the fun part, the idea and getting the money, but running a business is not always easy. Sometimes you have to pivot. This is a crucial term in the startup world. To pivot means to change your business strategy significantly. For example, a company might start out making a social media app for music, but if it's not working, they might pivot and become a platform for independent musicians to share their songs instead.
That's so true. It's about being flexible and adapting to what the market needs. Another important term is bootstrapping. This is when an entrepreneur starts and grows a company using little or no outside funding. They use their own savings or the company's own revenues to finance their operations. It's a very common way to get started and a good way to figure out if your idea has real potential.
Yes, and a pivot is often a necessary step for companies that are bootstrapping. Another term you'll hear is incubator or accelerator. These are organizations that help new startups grow by providing them with resources like office space, mentorship, and funding. Think of them as a program that helps your business grow faster.
They're a great resource for entrepreneurs who are just starting out. And speaking of growth, the ultimate goal for many businesses is to monetize their product or service. This means to make money from it. You can monetize a product by selling it, or an app by offering premium features, or even a blog by running ads. The end goal for investors is to see a good ROI, or return on investment. This is the profit they make from their money relative to the amount they initially invested.
A good ROI is the dream for any investor and a lot of work for any entrepreneur. I have a final story that puts all of this into perspective. I know a guy who started a small online tutoring business, and he was completely bootstrapping. He worked from his living room, used his old laptop, and created everything himself. He had to pivot his business model 3 times before he found something that worked. But he never gave up. He kept going, and now his company is a massive success. He bootstrapped his way to a great ROI.
What an inspiring story, Jenny. It shows that entrepreneurial language isn't just about big business, it's about determination and adaptability. We hope this episode has given you a solid foundation in the business English you need, and that it encourages you to take your English to the next level. The world of business is full of opportunities, and now you have the words to talk about it.
Thank you so much for joining us. We loved covering this topic with you.
And before you go, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the MA English channel. Your support helps us create more great content to help you improve English and boost your fluency. We'll see you next time at the MA English Cafe.